Danny Andrew here. I have some disturbing statistics for you about sexual violence. This is from the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, Info and Statistics for Journalists. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men will be raped at some point in their lives. 46.4% lesbians, 74.9% bisexual women, and 43.3% heterosexual women reported sexual violence other than rape during their lifetime, while 40.2% gay men, 47.4% bisexual men, and 20.8% heterosexual men reported sexual violence other than rape during their lifetimes. Nearly 1 in 10 women has been raped by an intimate partner in her lifetime, including completed forced penetration, attempted forced penetration, or alcohol drug-related completed penetration. Approximately 1 in 45 men has been made to penetrate an intimate partner during his lifetime. 91% of the victims of rape and sexual assault are female, and 9% are male. In 8 out of 10 cases of rape, the victim knew the person who sexually assaulted them. 8% of rapes occur when the victim is at work. Each rape costs approximately $151,423. Annually, rape costs the U.S. more than any other crime, $127 billion, followed by assault, which is $93 billion, murder, $71 billion, and drunk driving all the way down at $61 billion. 81% of women and 35% of men report significant short-term or long-term impacts such as post-traumatic stress disorder. Healthcare is 16% higher for women who were sexually abused as children. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before they turn 18 years old. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys. I read that. 34% of people who sexually abuse a child are family members. 12.3% of women who are aged 10 or younger at the time of their first rape or victimization, and 30% of women were between the ages of 11 and 17. Just babies. 27.8% of men were aged 10 or younger. Just babies at the time of their first rape or victimization. More than 1/3 of women who reported being raped before age 18 also experienced rape as an adult. So it continues. 96% of people who sexually abuse children are male, and 76.8% of people who sexually abuse children are adults. Rape is the most underreported crime. 63% of sexual assaults are not reported to police. 63%. Think about that for a minute. 63% of sexual assaults are not reported to police. Only 12% of child sexual abuse is reported to the authorities. The prevalence of false reporting is between 2% and 10%. For example, a study of 8 U.S. communities, which included 2,059 cases of sexual assault, found a 7.1% rate of false reports. A study of 136 sexual assault cases in Boston found a 5.9% rate of false reports. Researchers studied 812 reports of sexual assault from 2000 to 2003 and found a 2.1% rate of false reports. So what that tells me is sexual assault, 2%, 4%, are false reporting. That means 96%, 95% are telling the truth. I think those are pretty good numbers. So the hashtag Me Too movement and the hashtag Church Too movement, which I found on the internet the other day, is something we need to pay attention to. Because hashtag Me Too, that's me. I was raped when I was 11 years old by the neighbor down the street. His name is not important because I'm not going to give him the credence of telling you who he was. It's not important. What is important to know is that I went through the therapy and I got better. What's important to know is there's help out there. This 16-year-old boy decided he wanted what he wanted, and I was 11 years old. And what was I going to do? Fight back? No, I didn't fight back. I didn't tell anyone. For 2 years, I didn't tell anyone. I lived with this secret all by myself. I didn't tell my mom. My mom worked 2 jobs. My dad was absent from the house. If he had known, he probably would have beat me. My dad was not the kindest person. But the thing about it is, it happened. I was 11 years old. I lived with it alone. Even when I did tell, my mom was upset. There was nothing she could do at the time. The family had already moved away. It ruined my life for a really, really, really long time. The DSM-5 now says that this can contribute to bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed in 1995. It has ruined my life for a long time, but not anymore, because I got help. I went to see a really good therapist, and then I went to see another one. And I got better. And you can too.